Hello. Good morning. Let me go find something to play music, and then we can start. Go ahead and look for, I don't know, Banjo-Kazooie music. Volume a little bit. Go ahead. Make sure people are notified. Okay. Welcome. Morning. Not a pony, but welcome. Good morning. All right. Let me get Krita set up. Clip Studio on this one. What did I? No, that was something else. Let me capture. Okay. Not that it really matters, but I'm gonna just increase the size here. Move it over here. Maybe not. Right. I'm just gonna leave it there. There we go. Pones Banjo-Kazooie para comenzar el stream. Yeah. The thing is, I saw. Hey, how's it going, Orbo? I was seeing Vinesauce play the Banjo-Kazooie recompiled, which I'm interested in playing. Maybe not a full stream, but I'm interested in checking it out. But I saw him playing that, and I was like, oh, I could listen to some Banjo-Kazooie music. Because this morning, when I was working out, I was like listening to like really intense OST music, like boss music, RPG boss music and stuff, and like I want something more chill for work. But yeah, today, not a complex plan. We're gonna do more boxes, which is super fun to watch, I guess. And then I'm gonna just do like a challenging thing of like not using Control-Z, and we'll see how that pans out. Just gonna make sure that this is that my thingamajig is working. So let me go to here. Okay. Space, Control-C, Shift. Okay, and then Control-C, Control-C. And this is working. All right. And this is the brush editor. Alt, Control, Shift. Keep switching. Okay. What's this one? Control S. Okay, so what I want to change is this. So if we're gonna go to settings. Well, I'm just gonna make sure that if I open this, we're gonna make this smaller, scratch pad. All right. So for our purposes today, yeah, I watched the video. It's not, it wasn't as in-depth as I would have wished. It's just like a, oh, here's things that you can do with this program. And it's pretty much kind of similar to CSP. There are I made some notes from the video, but they were like vague. I need to see it again because I do need to fuck around with some of the settings. Okay, so for our purposes today, we're gonna do the boxes. So we're gonna start with the standard box here. Actually, let me see if they have what I would call stabilization, which I guess I'll have to rewatch the video, but they didn't really cover brush settings or anything. They just said, oh, these are like the tools. So this box is not right. All right, so basically for a box exercise, I mean, it's not perfect, but that's a little better. I have to edit this thing, but anyways, because I'm not using my usual controller that I would use for Clip Studio, I'm using an XP Pen keyboard stuff, and I prefer my controller, so you're gonna have to excuse the thing. So look, it helps if you divide it into 5 parts, because these aren't like just a square. Remember that these are in perspective, because the vanishing point is usually in the middle of the box. So, or like for, at least for this exercise, because if you're doing like, you know, like a perspective thing, right? You're gonna wanna, the vanishing point is down here, so you're gonna have to take into consideration how those things work. But so too, I believe. Yep. Okay. And then it's a shame there's like no delete button. Lock transparency, erase. Here. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I do need to learn for this program, but they didn't really cover that. So let's see if there's a bucket tool here. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. This will be helpful because I'm probably going to avoid. What's the thing I was using? Was it this one? Boy. All right, so I guess we're just learning Krita right off the bat. So select, deselect. All right. Using this. Back to the brush. It's in erase mode. That's not it. Was it this one? That wasn't it. I believe it was this one. Okay. Well, actually, let's use this one, because I feel like this would be a good idea. So I'm not worried about line density or whatever. All right. There we are. Okay. So like I said, for the box exercise, it's better if you have it divided into 5 sections. I'm doing all right. How about yourself, Randy? So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to keep in mind that the vanishing point usually for this particular exercise, the vanishing point is in the center of the box. So when you do this, right, you keep this in mind. But I keep the distances the same. usually you'll have this here, and then also you want to do it as well for this side. So I already see issues here. Box is too long. The perspective is a little off. It's here. Alright. It's not one-to-one, but this is why it's a practice. Alright. So if you divide it into 5, it makes it easier. We're making like a pseudo grid. Hey, Dark Spirit. I'm not a pony. So in your mind, you can use a grid if you want. But I honestly prefer to practice without like making a grid now because it just helps. So now you have, I shared a video yesterday that was pretty good, but I'll share it in a bit. So if we do that again, right? I'm gonna use my keyboard, it's much better. So now, I understand, Die was my favorite too. Okay, so now, when you do perspective for this, you want to do, for example, okay, we take it here, and then we add it here, and then another point here, right? You make this like that. Or, actually, and then you get like middle points, right? So you kind of take these two, and then you grab this, and it should give you, you know, something somewhat correct, right? And that's our first box. You take these midpoints, and it also should give you kind of like the perspective. So you add one here. That's wrong, actually. You take this one, I think. Yep. Somewhat correct. Maybe you want to add over here. No. There we go. Needs improvement, but I'm trying to teach you guys. I do need to fix that perspective, but I'm not going to worry too much about it for now. What we're going to do is we're going to keep doing the rest of the boxes. So now we have the center point. Let's do this again. And I'm going to do it with this first, and then I'm going to do it after without it and see how I do. So now we have the middle point. We just throw this line here. We want to do this, and then this, and then here, 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 here. And the inside is just going to be like that. Once you do it enough, you can start rotating the box like in your mind, right? And the way that we can tell if it's good or not is if you rotate it and it starts feeling like, okay, the box is definitely rotating. Okay, so something weird. I don't like how the tools work in here. So in CSP, if I leave a button pressed, The C doesn't zoom. I think it's a different button. But if I press E, I have to press E to erase. And normally in CSP, I can just hold E and then I'll go into eraser mode. But this just does like the erasing transparency rather than like the... So that's something for me to know. Okay. So basically, there are some things I do need to fix here. I'm already noticing that these aren't proper. So we go here. Okay. Now, for the other one is basically just a reflection of this one, but for the sake of this doesn't feel correct. So again, full size. Here, flap, flap. And we want to use these midpoints here for that. And then it feels like I'm not. Oh, there we go. Definitely not doing them the right size, but that doesn't matter as long as you start getting the perspective and you kind of like line them up. My mistake is that I made these lines longer, so I'm not visualizing it. But again, this is why we do this. Because then you start picking out what you're doing wrong. So if I were to do this how I'm supposed to do it, we go ahead, we make this line longer. This one longer. Now it kind of feels like these boxes are matching, right? There we go. All right. Now, we're gonna do, basically what we do here is the same as what we're doing up here, like up here. So we're gonna do this thing again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. So take these points. Take this one here. Bam, bam. And then we grab these midpoints here. We try to line them up. So about here, bam, bam. There you go. And if you were to put it into put the perspective, you would add the line here. Cuban perspective. I hope this is coming out clear, and you guys can kind of follow. I'm seeing your gray screen instead of your drawings. What? You guys can't see what I'm drawing? What the fuck? Hold on. Oh my god. So I've been working, okay, it's because, okay. So I don't know what the issue is, but Krita doesn't capture normally like other stuff would. The capture method, I need to change it to Windows 10 and not automatic. I don't know if it's a Windows issue or if it's just a program by program issue. Oh my god. So I've been like talking nonsense for a few minutes. Okay, let me go over what I've been doing again. So All right, we're doing the box practice, right? We've been doing the box practice. And what I've been saying is that you need to start, like, the way that I've been... No, it's... thank you for noticing. Nobody said anything, so I thought I was just being crazy. So, basically, I'm trying to make a mental grid. Like, I do it like this once, right? With, like, measuring lines and everything. I'm not using, like, a full grid that the program... Or, like, I don't know if this one does it. But Clip Studio, you can throw, like, a grid. And you can use that for practice. But I want to do, like, a manual thing where, like, I start getting used to picturing the box rotating. Hey, thanks for the follow, Binary Crowd. But you want to start making, like, a mental note of an imaginary grid in your head. Because when you start doing perspective, you can kind of picture, okay, I know that the box is supposed, like, you know, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter if it's, like, a long shape. Basically, everything is all cubes. You really want to start thinking, and if splitting it does help, practice by practice. So we're going to do it this way first, and then I'm going to try and attempt to do it without these lines, and then I have to start seeing, okay, I'm doing it wrong, I'm doing it wrong. And the reason why you want to also practice boxes is that, let's say you're practicing, like you're drawing a pose, right? Let's say you're doing this, right? Thanks for the follow. Let's say you're doing like a pose, right? And something about it is not coming right, and you're like, okay, well, why is it not coming right? Oh, okay. So let's put this in perspective, and then you start thinking, okay, you know, basically the torso is, if we break down the torso in its most fundamental shapes, right? It's basically this. Right? And then you start, okay, so that's why it wasn't coming out right. It's all about boxes. And when you're drawing perspective as well, like let's say you're drawing like a big city, or like whatever, like this is a good example. And you want to place characters in perspective. If you just put them in squares, like let's say, okay, this character is, I don't know, 5 heads tall, right? You can break the cube, you can break the box into simpler shapes, and then that way you put them in perspective, and then let's say the line horizon is there, you know, it helps, right? Some people can just do it manually, that takes practice. I can't do it, so I try to do things in a way that is more simpler for me. But once you get into the head, like you can start picking out what stuff in perspective doesn't look in perspective, and when you draw heads or when you draw any shape really, because the next step in this is you can either, like, you know, for me it's going to be drawing heads in perspective properly, like doing more practices, but also the next practice is, you know, putting different shapes in perspective. So let's say I want to do a cylinder, you know, or I want to do more complex shapes, like, you know, it's more easy for you to do it, right? When you have enough practice. I'm gonna probably do this a week every day and then move on to something different so that I'm able to start doing things in better perspective. So for, again, the plan today, we're gonna do this 2 or 3 times, and then I'm just gonna draw something to get used to learning how Krita works. I don't think I'm gonna switch, but I want to expose more people that maybe potentially don't have the resources to get Clip Studio or anything like that. This is, I mean, it's a decent program. It's just like I'm already hardwired with Clip Studio, so it's different, but you know, that basically it's fundamental, it's open source, and it has a lot of use. So I would recommend it. as far as it goes now, but you need to learn it. Because the thing is, like, Clip Studio is subscription based. This one is like it has all the functionalities for free. But I do pay Clip Studio because it's a program that I use every day for everything. But anyways, back to the practice. So we've done this one. Now, we're gonna do the grid again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This distance. 3, 4, 5. It's all right. Midpoint. About this. Remember, we're not for these ones. We're using the point that is about here and here, not these ones. So you go here, and then this, do that, and then we go for the inside here, and then you go 1, 2. Actually, no, that's wrong. Sorry. You do this for... Alright. Fire Alpaca is alright as well. Medibang, I also considered looking into. And Medibang, I know one of my friends, he does use Medibang, and she's like hardcore for it. Procreate is also very good if you have an iPad. Though personally, I don't like. Again, I'm very like wired with Procreate with Clip Studio, and I've tried Procreate. With programs like when you're used to something, don't change it if you don't need to, unless like let's say you're switching to Linux and Krita does work out of the box with Linux and Clip Studio doesn't. So that's something that I'm even considering dual booting my laptop because it's a Linux laptop, just for Clip Studio. Okay, so then final one. Now, we're gonna keep the same length. So this one needs to come out more. Just like this. Okay. So now, full length here. Blam, blam. About this distance. And I'm already noticing an issue here. This is not in perspective. And I believe it's because of this one. So go ahead and fix that a little bit. I haven't used SSD about 2-ish years. I mostly use Ibis Paint is also very good. Okay, so it's smaller. So now we have that. Okay, now we have this. Check our work by just rotating. These two are not the same, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix that. And I'm gonna just eyeball it. Bam. Here, and then here. Now it's more like it. I ended up having to switch from Psy to CSP because I decided to never work again with my tablets. Psy 2 is out, but I don't know that if in but I don't know, like, I know people that still use Psy 1. But the problem with Psy 1, okay, the reason I used to use Psy, right? But my problem is that it was never updated. It was just done by one guy who refuses to hire more people, as far as I know. And then it just didn't have all the functions that I wanted, like making. It just wasn't, you know, you only have to rely on the one guy to update it whenever he could. And I decided to go with a program that for years I had my eye on. And, you know, I haven't really looked back. But Psy has the better brushes. It's just like the better, like, tool, like, brush support and, like, brush things. And it's much easier to get into, but I think, again, work with what you want, but I think Psy in general is lacking. Psy 2 is out. I don't know if it's any good, and I honestly don't see myself going over to it. Because there's nothing convincing me to go over. It just looks like Psy, but again, which brushes are great, but it's not like, you can't compete with something like Krita or ESP. There's just much better support. And plus, people make tools for Clip Studio and other programs like way more often than they do for something like Psy, because no one's, like, very few people are using Psy nowadays. And I really like Psy, it's just like, it's sadly not being updated. Okay, so now, here is the tricky part. Basically, we have to rotate the box in our head. And so, we have only this part, and then this part. So, if we rotate the box here, we want here, I believe in this midpoint, here, 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 up here, like around here, and then here, here, and it should be something like now this is the midpoint, so maybe we want, this one's easy because this one you're gonna want to have this here, right? And then midpoint here, and then here, bam, bam. Let me fix that actually. Take the midpoint, I'm gonna do a line like that because that's the way it's gonna work anyways. Now here, here. Actually, yeah. If we rotate, oh no, okay. So I'm rotating the box in my mind. Okay, it's gonna move over to this point, which is just gonna be here. Then it's gonna go to this point here, and then this point here, and then over here, and then you get, you know, that. Let's rotate it and see how our work is doing. Okay. It does feel like it's rotating, barring some minor issues here, right? Does feel like it's rotating, so we can go back. All right, and now I'm actually gonna this a little bit more here. Let's move that over here so it's not too stuck. Select, deselect, and then let's go back. Brush. And now again, I'm moving the box in my head, so the point is going to move over here because I'm thinking in 3D of how the box is rotating in that direction. So we're going to go, okay, the point is going to be kind of over here, but at this level, right? Somewhat like here. And then this point is going to go over here. Because it's the opposite. It's like the opposite of this one, right? Let's check it again. I think we're seeing too much of the top, so we have to erase a little bit here. All right, it feels like it's rotating. Now we're going to this one. So, we want to keep in mind that we're going to still go for this. So it's gonna... And now this one is where it gets interesting. So we're gonna, I believe, yeah. So we go here, about this midpoint. This is basically like you're gonna do a diamond here when it's like at this level, right? Let's check our work. Does it feel like it's rotating? I feel like this angle is a little too steep, so we're gonna go back. We're gonna... this. Now, we're gonna go for this one here, here. I've always called this song the fart song, because the trumpets sound like they're farting. Even though that's not the case, but when I was a kid, I would say the fart song for this particular Banjo-Kazooie track. Now for the final one, this one's a little tougher, but we'll make do. So we got this. This midpoint here. Let's connect it. Already doesn't look right, so I think it should be around here. Yep, that seems a little bit more right. Okay. Now we're over here, which, like I said, the middle one is a little easier because it's like, okay, well, we already know that this is gonna come out in this direction here. So let's just do the midpoints. They need to be higher. And then we do this. I'm already seeing some problems, so we're gonna fix them. So. I'm gonna go ahead and redo this one. There you go. I'll make note of like the ones that I need to fix later, but or like work on. So I'm gonna start eyeballing these. So I think I'm confident enough that I can start, you know, doing them better. I'm gonna go grab this. Alright, let's check the work. Do they look like they're rotating? 2, 3. This one, that. Yeah, a little bit. It needs improvement, but let me cross-reference with something I have. So I'm gonna go and grab. Give me 1 second. Krita. Alright, these are the cubes. Let's move them over here and use it to reference the work. So if I go ahead, just selection, let's delete. Select. Selection. Okay. We're gonna let's check our work. City. All right. Let's see. This one's not correct, so I'm gonna make a note here. Fix this one. This one I need to fix. Fix this one. This one. I mean, all of them probably, but yeah. This one's okay. Just minor things. This one too. These ones are okay. I got these ones right, at the very least. Just need to be more mindful. All right. Now we know. I'm gonna do an attempt where I'm not looking at this, and we don't do the graph, and I just do it from afar. So we do 1, 2, 3. Hey, thanks for the follow. Here. That already doesn't look too bad. It does feel like the boxes are rotating, so let's do this side as well. Smaller. Pull. Get away. My goal here, too, is that I need to do it in as little lines as possible and not second-guess my work. It's challenging. Get your hand off the keyboard. Okay. Not terrible. Doing that one. Fuck that. Okay. Let's try again. Boxes rotate or sure? Yeah, they can, like, what it needs to feel is that when you look at it, it's like, yeah, they're rotating, but you can still notice like errors. And really the goal of this at the end is not to be perfect 100%, right? It's just that you need to get as close as possible, because again, art is more of an illusion, not an exact science. So as long as you're somewhat accurate and you keep practicing, eventually one day you'll just draw them perfectly. But it's just to make sure that you in your brain, when you do this, you're like, oh, there's something off about the perspective, and you can work on it. It's so that when you start doing these, it's, for one, getting perspective right, and two, learning to know what's wrong with what you're doing. It's getting used to like being able to tell things that like why, like again, when you're drawing something in perspective or like in a difficult angle, you can kind of point out why, and then like if you're having trouble, you can just box it and then be like, oh, it's because like, you know, their head is like this way, but then their body is twisted this way when it normally wouldn't look like that. You know, stuff like that. At the very least, that's my goal for me. Okay, that's another thing that I can't see where the... Okay. Can't help but think of like JonTron videos when I hear this song. Jack, woo! That's how you skin a bird. Yeah. That one needs work. Shit. Okay, that's a problem I'm noticing. I can't really see my cursor, where in other programs you'd be able to, even if it's small. Okay, I can tell you already that these bottom ones, they're all wrong, because what I've been end up doing for whatever reason is that I keep stretching the boxes instead of what I should do instead is draw the plane first, the top plane, and then it's going all right. Let's see. I've been starting to organize myself a little bit mentally. Trying to balance. I got some game work done yesterday. We're going 2D. I was gonna entertain the idea of doing 3D, like a Pokemon Black kind of deal, but it's too much of a hassle. So it definitely needs. We're just going with the simplest approach ever. And then I started a commission. Like I have a lot of work, but I'm trying to manage the things that I want to do, and separate things by amount of work. It's tough because I have two extremes. I either do a shit ton of work, or I feel very overwhelmed, so I do nothing. So, okay, I can tell you this one is wrong, this one's wrong, this one's definitely wrong, this one's wrong too. These seem okay. I think this one might be wrong, but let's duplicate it and check. Let's go down here. And let's move it down. Everyone had a good week so far, though. My week is fine. Just a lot I want to do, and I'm still excited for the year. So let's delete everything that's outside. And we're going to deselect. Okay. So let's take a look and continue checking our work. So this one for sure needs work. This one as well. This one is not too bad, actually. Definitely can still use the practice. I need to start thinking of like this. Yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, it needs to be more like that. Right. So this one needs attention. Yeah, these ones need special attention. This one's not too bad, but the perspective is just a tinge off because I'm like adding an extra vanishing point that's not there, and I need to remember that the vanishing point is in the center of the box. I think this one's okay. Again, just keep in mind that there's no vanishing point, so I don't need to make this smaller. Yeah, this one's okay. Same issue. Just keep in mind there's no vanishing point here. So I need to stop doing that. Yeah, this one's okay. This one's okay. Somewhat. Just keep this in mind. But it's okay. Yeah, it's just the same issue that I've been having with the other ones. It's like, don't add the extra vanishing point from there. Vanishing point is over here. Okay. So we know now issues. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sketch something and then try to paint it. The thing is, the sketch is going to be no Control Z or eraser, so it's probably going to look not too great. So I'm going to make sure that I can use. Okay. So let's edit this tool. Let me see. Let's see. So let's see. There should be an opacity thing here, but I don't see it. Let's see. Strength. Opacity, there we go. Tip, blending mode, opacity. Let's see. Okay. A little like this might be better. Okay. I'm gonna keep it low. Alright. So we're gonna add another layer. We're gonna hide this. I'm gonna make the brush small. Alright. Let me think. I'm gonna draw Chan. Hey, no Control Z. Remember. Oh boy. The one, my hands are twitching because I can't like try, like I'm sitting on my hand to avoid it like going to the keyboard and being like, oh, press Control Z, press Control Z. It's a bit liberating, you know, but it's still very stressful because you're like thinking, oh, this is wrong, this is wrong. But I'm trying to just enjoy myself with this. Because there's no stress with this. It's just like this mouth is bothering me. I can. My plan is to color this, which is why I'm keeping it simple. Oh, SMT music. So far, I like Krita, but it's not something that I would switch to. But if you want an alternative to CSP or any other art program, I recommend it. If you're working from an iPad, check out Procreate instead. If you, if you really want to avoid Clip Studio, or you don't really fuck with the subscription stuff, you can still buy the program CSP, but on iPad that's not an option for whatever reason. The one thing I will say is that with smaller brushes, it's hard to see where you're putting. I'm not using, again, I'm using a graphics tablet, so I'm not. So for me, it's a little bit difficult. When you can't see brush. I didn't expect you to switch to Krita, but do you see yourself using Krita more in the future? If I learn how to use it better, yes. But like if I know, like for example, if adding dual boot to my laptop for Windows is too much of a pain in the ass, then I might just keep the Linux install and learn how to use Krita there. But yeah, if I know how to use it and like I see myself in a situation where this is the tool that I have at my disposal, for sure. It's like I know how to use Photoshop, even though I would never in my right mind use Photoshop ever again. I hate Adobe, so. All right, sketch is done. Let's paint. So we're gonna go new layer. Is there a fill tool in here? Guess not. So let me see if I can find. bucket. I only use deselect. I like the color. This one seems better. Something weird about this part program that okay, this I don't like. But I mean, I don't know how to fix that. I'm not gonna worry about fixing that right now. Let's try it. Let's give it a shot. Hey, why won't it? Oh, you need to press Control. Okay. We're gonna this. What's that? If the goal is at the 2-hour mark, I'm putting my pencil down and see what I got made in an hour. And then I don't look it back, I don't retouch it. It's okay, you knew what you're capable of. Keep improving, try it again. And I'm gonna try to do these challenges every day, if I can, even on my own. see something. Okay, that's Control Z. That's Shift. That's Space. Shift C. That's Control S. Alt. Different. Key group switching. Set preview. I guess I'll just keep my hand on the keyboard for color picking. Also, for something like this, I'm gonna make sure that I have the biggest brush possible so that I can tackle swaths of... Also, let me adjust pressure. Brush tip. This is the brush that I need to be using. It's kind of the perfect one for this challenge. Darker here. By the way, I'm interested in streaming Enfield again, but not really the combat parts, just like general factory maintenance stuff. Because I feel like the rest of the game is somewhat dull, because it's just a ton of dialogue. Like, I mean, I like dialogue-based games, but for something like that, I don't know. Just the main story isn't really particularly interesting. The combat part is just like, oh, I mean, we've played these kinds of games before. You know how the combat works. It's Genshin, just with less synergy between elements. The rest of it is like the factory stuff is fine. I really like the factory stuff. I've been like, I log in like a little bit every day, and then I just make sure that the factory is running, and you know, it keeps growing. The thing is, like, you gotta play the game to grow your factory. I'm getting to the point where there's less things to do in Enfield, but I haven't accessed the new area, but I'm gonna rush the story so that I can get to the new area, fix everything, and then I enter like maintenance mode, and I can actually play Factorio or Satisfactory, and then stream like my insanity. Or my descent into madness. I also bought a game recently that is base building, and my plan is that I'll stream it tomorrow, hopefully. I think I did post about a game that I like that game recently. So I'm interested in checking it out. It looked fun. The characters look good. I'm hoping there's not like sensitive material. Oh, these are very different. Very, very different tonally. Oh, let's do this one. Just hope this doesn't get claimed. Alright. Doesn't seem like it. Man, Shadowbringers was so fucking good. I kind of really want to replay it. Emmett Sulk was like such a good character. Like a trusty Patches-esque. Actually, my friend Abby was the one that requested I made a cube Roz. So let me see if uh-oh. Well, I don't know that she's streaming right now. She said, "Oh, I want a cube Roz for Hightail streams." And I'm like, "Alright, sure." Fuck. Right. Let's do the hair. Again, I wish. Is there no? Oh, Krita. Level 2. Let's see. Krita. Full selection. Phil Lassa. Enclose and fill tool. lasso. Closing method. Use a freehand and selection to draw out the enclosing area. No, okay. There's too much to ask. Oh, thank you. Let's just do the old-fashioned way. I feel like I don't like the way that these brushes are set up. I prefer the way that Clip does it. It's a little bit more intuitive. Well, one of the things I don't like this, for example, like I press and there's a lot of settings that just definitely for me need huge improvement. I need to change a lot of the way that tools behave. Sure. Like the shortcuts, I need to set them up in a way that feel more natural to me. By the way, I'm trying to do this all in one layer. I will eventually merge it. How are we doing on time? Okay, got another 30 minutes. So let's see. Rogan wrote this song while he was having cancer treatment. That is like insane to me. The guy made one of the best songs in Final Fantasy XIV, bedridden with cancer. He's good now, but holy shit, that is hardcore. sweater. Deselect. No. Actually, I'm not gonna merge it now. Let's select the pixels for a second. Oh. Okay. I got 20 minutes, so now I'm gonna... Hey, we're gonna merge everything. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Everything's merged. Time to clean up. I'm gonna change the music. Oh, right. Today was a Tamagotchi Live showcase or whatever. I'm not getting a Switch 2 for it though, so. It has a Switch 1 release. It's probably not gonna run good because I feel like that game was just planned for being a Switch game. Yeah, I'm using the latest version of Krita. I'm like bleeding over because my body is screaming, you know, Control C and no erasing. I'm erasing here, but I'm not erasing my mistakes, I'm just cleaning. It's a little different. There we go. To give more shape to the hair. You're adding a layer, not erasing a layer. Saturate this a little more. All right, we got 10 minutes left. This song is making me stress, but we're gonna keep it. I made a Control C there. Apologies. Put your hand off the keyboard, bitch. This needs more saturation, needs to be darker. You could perhaps draw the Krita mascot and Krita, perhaps. Maybe. Oh god, okay. Get away from the keyboard, get away from the keyboard. Stop pressing Control-C. This is hard. It's very hard. Back to this one. Kind of. Forgot what it was. Seven minutes. I don't know how a lot of these brushes work. All right, 4 minutes. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. You got 4 minutes on the clock. Reminding me, oh, 5.0 was announced yesterday? Holy shit. Oh, God. Come on, CSP. Don't do this to me. I'll buy 5.0 outright. I think. Right. I'm just gonna add final details because we got like a couple of minutes left. Like maybe just like I have a minute left basically. So I'm gonna clean up her face really quick. Oh shit. 10 seconds. And pencils down, pencils down, pencils down. Pencils down. All right, okay. This metaphor music is driving me fucking crazy. I like it, but it's like in this context, it's no, thank you. Okay, that's I mean that's all right. It's pretty decent for no control Z and no erasing, quote unquote. But I did commit the sin of control Z a few times, but I feel like if I keep doing these, I wouldn't even say that I'm going to get faster necessarily, but I will probably be more confident in what I put down. And as I keep doing these, I'm like, I get better at, like, I need to watch some other people do it as well, or like just other people draw and then see what their process is like. Because I'm too afraid of like I tend to overcorrect. And I feel like this exercise is very good. I do need to try it with sketches as well, just like sketching something and not like touching the keyboard or anything and just do it. But yeah, hey, look, pretty good for like 1 hour from an amateur. No control Z. No, it wasn't 2 hours. It was just 1 hour. The first hour was doing cubes. It was doing these. I was just doing these, which I will practice maybe tonight as well on my own time. I've been sketching just here and there. I need more ballpoint pens though. I burned through them. Just writing and doing shit. I do need my homework tonight is also I need to analyze like other artists. Like I analyzed one that I want to study. There's another one that I want to look at and just pick out some notes. But yeah, I mean, pretty decent. I would say like I like it. She looks cute. It's like I'm not gonna touch it, right? I'm just gonna leave it like that. I can't go back to it. I can't retouch it. The thing stays like that. So let's see. Document artwork. 26, 01, 29. Go. And then I'm going to export this as a PNG. Whoa. Okay. That's a lot of options. Oh, this has JPEG XL too, but I'm gonna do PNG. Compression. Warning, saving as a PNG will lose information from your image. This image has one, yeah, that's fine. I don't need, okay. What does it put it like a warning like that? Okay. Perfect. Hey, hope you guys, at the very least, learned something. Next week, I'll probably do more cubes, but now I'll start probably progressing into something else. Maybe practice doing anatomy with cubes and stuff, or practice heads. That probably will. Yeah, but appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming this early. I will now have lunch and then sit down back to work, get some commissions and arts and stuff done. No, I you know, you can call me Pony. Like I joke, don't call me a pony, but it's fine. It's all in good fun. I'm okay with being, you know, bullied a little bit. Don't worry about it. But yeah, thanks for coming. I'll try to stream tomorrow, or like we'll see when the next stream is. It'll be this weekend for sure. I'll try to do these morning streams more often. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful day. I'm gonna go ahead and get some lunch and get my day started. So I'll see you guys next stream.